It's been a while since I posted a video, since I've been really, really, really busy. Like meditating, I've been busy being in stillness, you know. I'm still fixing myself. I'm still fixing my inward self, mostly. But I'm here to talk about, like, my elementary school years. Describing my elementary school years. In the early part, I was very, very shy and I was quiet back in those times. I didn't talk much at all, and back then there was no phones back then, unlike now. I mean iPhones and all of that. None of us that didn't exist back then. Back then, you would you have to like when you want to like go get a friend or something, you gotta like you couldn't text or anything because the internet wasn't around back then. It was in the beginning stage, but it went like it is now. Uh, in the elementary school, I had a really really good time. It was very very nostalgic because during Christmas we would watch a movie, and the Halloween would do something. We would do like an event after school, and and I remember like when I was in kindergarten and all. Back in kindergarten, we just watched Sesame Street and all. Back then, we used to watch a lot of Sesame Street. First grade, I guess. We we were at like I remember we were at like another school because the school was flooded. We had to go to another school near the train bridge and like near because I went to the county school. I didn't go to the city school. I always live out in the county. I never live out in the city. But long, long time ago, my parents used to live in the city, the south side of the city, but they moved to the north side and all. Uh, and first, but school was flooded. We had to go to that school, the old school, another school that was like near the train tracks, and now it's boarded up. But we used to hang around that school. The girls used to jump rope, and the boys used to jump rope. I fell in the niche, and well, there was no people fighting as well in the early elementary days. Nobody was fighting. Second grade, I remember this girl didn't like me at all. I was trying to get her to be my friend. She didn't want to be my friend at all. She was against me. She did not like me at all. But we became friends later on. Uh, then after that, third grade, I remember we were at my elementary school class. There was this kid who always used to act up and all of that. And I remember he went to the girls' bathroom and did something in the girls' bathroom, ran around it and all. And he also harassed, and also he messed up my stuff. I remember he harassed the other kids because he was really, really bad. He did a lot of bad stuff. And, but I found out in the later years he stopped being bad. I heard some from one of my friends. He was talking about he stopped being bad and all. And I have no idea where he is now, nowadays. And third grade, I guess. In third grade, I was like, I was feeling. We went to the mall. We had a trip to the mall, Moles Mills, which was like, uh, which was like west, northwest. up northwest of the city and all, and it was out near and I'm describing the area. It was like there was a hill and there was the mall right there in the center. The mall was a huge mall. There was a lot of shops and there was everyone going to the mall. There was a lot of people at the mall. I remember buying a Mountain Dew, and we saw some Thomas toys. This was in 2008. I was like 9 years old. Uh, then I remember when we went back on a bus, and I remember like the Mountain Dew, it wasn't like all the way closed, and the Mountain Dew spread all over the bus. And the teachers saw it and said, the teacher said, the bus driver's going to get me for it, but she never got me for it at all. She never noticed it because the Mountain Dew was all over the bus. It was from, I was sitting in the back and it went all the way to the front. She never noticed it. And next, I then I was dating in third grade as well, and me and this girl, we used to hold hands in class, and we used to like on a field trip. We were sitting there by ourselves from everyone else, and we would watch the. We went to the arena. We had a trip to the arena that day. We would watch them play and all that, and that was a memorable time. Actually, that was memorable. It was memorable is is hell, to be honest. And then like I remember in fourth grade. In the fourth grade, I'm actually in third grade. I used to been a little. Already said that. In fourth grade, I remember like I was shifted to another school, which was Fairview Intermediate. That's what it was called, and it's up there. It's like a mile from me or 2 miles from me, down the road near the interstate. And out there, like I was not familiar with the area. I was a little bit because my cousin, because of my friend who used to live out there, he had two houses. Yeah, but I wasn't familiar with the school. When I went to the school, me and this other kid and this girl I didn't like who became friends, we went to that school, and I saw an old friend of ours and one friend of ours. I didn't know everyone else in the class. There was a lot of us in the class. There was so many of us. And and there was this teacher as well, and this other teacher's name. I'm not going to say their names or anything because I don't say names. So as we were there throughout the year, I remember there was a lot of crazy moments. Some crazy moments that happened throughout the year. I remember when the storm came. I guess when the storm came, the kids were begging to get in. They were knocking on the door, with saying, "Get in!" They all want to get in. This is after like the playground, after we ate lunch. I remember I opened the door for them. All of them ran in. All of them ran in, and I got in trouble for it, which you shouldn't really get mad of. You're just helping everybody, but for them, helping is it's just terrible for that situation for some reason. And I got guilty of it. I felt guilty of it, so I just sat down and felt guilty and sad of it. I hope. Then then I remember I used to really like this quiet girl a lot. She had huge tits for a fourth grader and all, and I used to talk to her a lot. And I remember there was this kid, I guess, he acted up in class a lot, and he was sent away for his behavior. He just threw a chair. He really, what he was doing was just throwing chairs at much. And then I remember like one kid, he like put his hand, he punched through a glass window at the at the at Fairview as well. I think he was a sixth grader. I was in fourth grade. He was a sixth grader or something. I don't know if he was mad or anything, or he just did it because he wanted to do it. But I heard about it and I saw it as well. And we went to Adventure Day as well, which was way out of south southwest of St. Louis, further out in the woods. Basically, we had activities of just bow and arrow. There was rivers out there. There was all kind of schools out there that was in the area. We had a good time out there, and and just thinking about it, I really miss those times now because I was like 11 at the time, and that was 15 years ago. That was really 15 years ago. Makes thinking about those times make me tear up inside. Then fifth grade, because then like in fifth grade, like there was still no fights in fifth grade and fourth grade at all. There was just incidents. Fifth grade, I remember this girl used to mess with me. I guess this girl used to mess with me a lot and claimed Santa was not real. And and I think I believe Santa was real. I think throughout my life I was thinking Santa was real at all. I know it sounds weird. It sounds really weird, but I still think Santa Claus is real. But that's not the point. Uh, she used to mess with me, and this other girl used to mess with me well when I sat down in the class all the time. And and during fifth grade, I was shifted to another elementary school again, named Gary Gore. But Gary Gore was a small school. It was not a large school at all. It was only like 200 students, and that's it. And there was no playground or anything. It was just a huge basketball court out on the side of it, and like another building on the side of it, and that was it. And it sat on the hill, pretty much, and you could see a scenery in the back. And but during fifth grade, there was like another person who used to mess with me as well. But she started off like being mean to me at first. She used to pinch me very hard to the point I said, "Ouch!" It hurt so. It hurt like hell. And and she used to like sit by me as well in the class. And the teacher, I guess, like the teacher that was in the class at the time, he went to like the church I was going to, and I no longer go to church anymore. But at that time, I was still going to church, but I wasn't like listening to anything they said. I used to hang outside and all, and she started off like she started off like not not mean to me, but we got along. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway in the years to come because she would just betray me again. And I was just thinking she was probably never my friend to begin with. She was just playing along. And and in fifth grade, we went on Adventure Day again. We went to the aquarium. We went to the Sea Museum. Uh, we had a trip there, and I think we had a party at the elementary school. My first actual party, but I didn't wasn't doing much, and there was no people, and nobody was like shaking their asses or anything like at the middle school parties were. But at the time, I was like 12 at the time, and I was hanging with sixth graders at the gym. That's where it was at. And also, we went to the skating ring as well, the do skates, and we saw like a movie, which was Green Hornet. I will never forget the movie. But still, no fights. Sixth grade comes along. Uh, in sixth grade, like I was still, I wasn't quiet anymore. I was still quiet, but I wasn't shy anymore, or somewhat. Sixth grade, I saw my first fight because some person was talking about someone's mama, and they started fighting each other downstairs near the lunchroom. Everyone was seeing it, but still, no one had like phones. But this was around 2012, and I remember this person moved, and I used to not obsess with another girl like in sixth grade, but she became unlikable much later down the road in the high school years, especially of what she become. And I used to be obsessed with this girl. I used to fall. I just to want to go out with her, but she didn't want to go out with me. But I understand that back then at all. I still want to go out with her, and but I just accept she wasn't interested or anything. But it took me like a month or 2 months to figure that out. Like elementary school year, I saw Bionicle. I'm really still a fan of Bionicle, by the way. And I was living at another house at the time. And I forgot to mention, like during early elementary school and to middle elementary school, I moved a lot. I kept moving a lot. Like I went to this other location, I went from that into another one. I kept moving. Even before elementary school, I was moving. We kept moving a lot. And then then in sixth grade, we had like a musical. We had like a musical party, and I remember singing music. We had a musical stuff. I sing the music. And Dodgery, I'm still a fan of Dodgery to this day because I just like the band. And and I started listening to some rock music back in that time, like Evanescence, 3 Days of Grace, Skillet, all the heavy metal rock, like the rock bands. Because I'm still like a rock person to this day. I'm still am, but I just don't listen. I'm just take a break from just listening to it. You know, and like nowadays, for the rock music, I'm like into Sabatune, and I'm into like Disturbed, but I'll say that for another video about the rock band stuff. And but at the time, I was listening to those bands, and and at the time I was listening to rap music as well. I listened to that because my school don't. listen to rock music at all. None of the kids did. They only listened to rap music because that's what they grew up with. They didn't grow up with heavy metal or rock music like I did because my parents don't allow rap music at the house and all that. They don't even listen to rock music or anything. That's just how they all. But sixth grade, we went to adventure. Uh, we went to Adventure Day again, and we had a really good time this time. And that was the last time we ever went to Adventure Day. We never went again for any school, probably because it was only for kids and not for adults. But I still miss those times. And I remember, I remember some kid died, like in our one of our classes. He passed away, and I think he was 12 or 11 years old. I think he got shot or something. I don't know. I don't think he got shot, but he just died of natural causes. And then we went to we hanged out, and we graduated in sixth grade as well to go to the middle school. We had a tour of the middle school, and the middle school looked awesome. Uh, It just looked awesome to me, and it just wonder what those years are going to be like. But that is it. I think I talked for 21 minutes. I'll see you in the next video.